Hello and welcome back to the Moto Daily Show on the Motocross Network. It's 2024. This is the first video we have of the year. Not insane news, but there's a few good stories, so I figured I'd bring it all to you today. And the story lineup will consist of Ty Masterpool. He is injured. He's going to miss Anaheim 1 at least. Then we're going to take a look at a former top MXGP athlete, Michele Cervellin. He announced his retirement over the break. Then we'll take a look at a couple of team lineup announcements. First one being WZ Racing KTM. Second one, AEO Powersports KTM. And finally, we'll take a look at River Yamaha rider Grant Harlan. And he is already back on the bike, repping the new number 23. He took Sexton's number, or former number. All right. I would tell you guys to head to the motocrossnetwork.com and buy some magazines because we have some left over from the sale, the closeout sale I did last week. We have some left over, but for some reason, the website's having trouble. I got to do some security stuff on there. So if it works for you, go ahead and order stuff. Everything's like 80% off. So if you want to go get a magazine from this year, go do it. I don't know if the website's working for you, but for me, it's not. So if it works, head to the mxnetwork.com. I'll put it in the description anyway. But if not, whatever, wait a couple days and I'll get it fixed for you guys. All right, first story of the day, HBI Racing, Kawasaki rider Ty Masterpool. His 450 Supercross debut will be delayed. The Texas native fell ill only a few weeks into the 2023 Supercross season, and he sat out the remainder of the season to fully prep for pro motocross over the summer, and obviously it paid off for him. He did incredible over the summer. His first 450 race ever in pro motocross, he went 7-7, so obviously incredible guy. Well, we were really looking forward to him at Anaheim 1. Obviously, over the summer, he continued the strong season and stayed relatively consistent until Ironman. He did the qualification, and he wasn't there for the race. I was actually confused because I was at the race, and I went to go look for him, and he was gone. I'm like, where'd he go? He's always here. He never gets hurt. He's been doing great this year, so he was gone. Come to find out, he had appendicitis, and he left early. Masterpool did return for Super Motocross. However, he wanted the money. There was a lot of money there up for grabs, so he just took some antibiotics, pushed through, and he did incredible, in my opinion, for being that sick. Still, he finished 7th in the 450 class Super Motocross Championship. Incredible. 7th in motocross standings, 10th overall in Super Motocross standings. So anyway, he ended up getting surgery for his appendix, and at the same time, he underwent ankle surgery, which he was still recovering from. He had something wrong with his ankle. He figured, why not get it done while I'm here? Unfortunately for him, it hasn't fully healed, but his doctor claimed that in a couple of weeks, he should be able to be fully healed, be back on the bike, be racing Supercross. So that's good to hear, at least. For 2024, Ty Masterpool is obviously eyeing up better finishes because he is on the same team he was last year, more consistency. Hopefully, he intended on racing all of Supercross, all of Motocross, and SMX, all on the same bike, same team. So he was really hoping for a consistent year and obviously to beat himself or his finishes from 2023. So besides missing round 1, that would not surprise me. Hopefully, he can take it in stride, do as he did last year, and put the past in the past and keep moving forward. I'll throw the release up on screen from the HBI Racing team. Here's what they had to say. They said, quote, Ty Masterpool went into surgery at the completion of last year's Super Motocross Championship for an appendectomy after suffering appendicitis at the Ironman Outdoor National. During the same period, he took the time to fix a plaguing ankle problem. Unfortunately, the ankle rehab will not be completed by A1, and a team decision has been made to delay Ty's debut in the 450 Supercross class at the advice of his doctors and trainers. The appendicitis has fully healed, and doctors feel his ankles will be 100% in the next few weeks. That's good to hear, at least. I'm wishing him luck. Hopefully, he heals up pretty good, and I hope we can see him at least in a couple of weeks. I hope he doesn't miss too many races because it's really going to knock him down in the points. But either way, I think he's going to be a strong guy this year. Not sure how he's going to do in Supercross, but we know how good he can do in Motocross, and he did even pretty good in SMX, considering he hadn't been on Supercross in a 450 or on a 450 yet, and that he was obviously really ill. So I think he'll do pretty good in Supercross. Let me know what you guys think about him. All right, on to an unfortunate announcement. We have another MXGP class retirement. MXGP athlete Michele Cervellin, the Italian. He used to be a top guy in the World Championship. As recently as 2019, he was a top 10 competitor. Some 9th places in there, a lot of top 10 finishes. So obviously, he was a good guy, and in the years before, he was even a top 5 competitor back when he was on Honda HRC in the MX2 class. I believe his final year in the MX2 class, he finished 7th overall, but that was with some complications, so he obviously could have done better. But yeah, the Italian used to be a fierce competitor on the world stage. Unfortunately, in the winter of 2020 into 2021, after signing with JM Honda Racing, things went downhill fast for him, unfortunately. Michele suffered a wrist infection. I couldn't find, there wasn't a news article on it. It was just from him saying it. He said there was a wrist infection, so he didn't get too far into deep detail. But it required surgery and led to permanent problems internally, obviously inhibiting his ability to ride. After months and months of recovery from that, he came back, but it just wasn't the same guy we saw before. He did 2 GPs in 2021, I think it was. Yeah, 2021, sorry. He did 2 GPs, the MXGP of Flanders, Lommel, Belgium, and Latvia at Kegums. And unfortunately finished 30th overall in both of those, which is pretty, I mean, going from 10th to like 10th to 15th most of the year in 2020, I don't remember which team he was on. Maybe JM Honda on the older bike. Either way, he was struggling with that bike. But to go from a top 10 regular and get hurt and go all the way back to 30th overall, that's pretty rough. Anyway, that was unfortunately his final results in the MXGP Championship as complications continued. Soon thereafter, he had a practice crash in the fall of 2021, I believe it was. Yes, fall. I didn't have the exact date, but it was fall. He had a practice crash, breaking his shoulder, requiring yet another surgery, and knocking him out for the remainder of the year. Now, enter 2022. He recovered from the shoulder injury, but the wrist problem still remained. He said he got another wrist tendon surgery. He had tendon problems internally that were making his wrist weak. So they tried to fix it for good, but unfortunately the surgery didn't help. He even got a 1-year deal with MRT KTM. I think they are now the beta team. But at the time, KTM, they gave him strong backing, even though he was injured and all the stuff that had happened to him. They gave him a year deal for, I think, the Italian Championship and MXGP. Either way, unfortunately, he never had a comeback. The racing in MXGP never came to fruition due to the injuries. Here we are at the beginning of 2024. He did make the announcement over the break, but I'll count it now. Michele Cervellin announced his retirement from professional motocross racing. Cervellin said in the announcement, quote, "Hi guys, I've tried everything, imagining the day I'd go back behind the gate, but a wrist infection from winter 2020/21 destroyed my wrist. As 2023 comes to an end, with a bit of rage, a beautiful chapter closes. A passion turned into a job. My life so far has been mainly focused on motocross, giving it my all every day between physical and motorcycle training. Now the plans will change a bit, but I'll try to face it all again with the same grind. Happy 2024 to all, Michele." This is really unfortunate to see. He obviously wasn't a top guy in the sport, but top 10 is still incredible, and it sucks to see it kind of get torn away from him like this. But with all that behind, he did have some decent success in the sport in the short time he was in it. I think he turned pro in 2015 or 16. I don't remember the exact date because the stats on MXGPresults.com were eliminated from him, or at least I couldn't find him. I dug, but I couldn't find it. Anyway, among his achievements were many top 10 finishes, some top 5s, a lot of success in the MX2 class, and he even helped land Team Italy on the podium in 2018 Motocross of Nations here in the United States. That was before they got disqualified for the tainted fuel situation, that is, so I count it as a podium, whatever. Good job, guys. Anyway, it sucks to see Michele retire, but all we can do is wish him the best on the future. Sucks to see you go, man. Maybe I can get him on for an interview sometime to kind of close his career in one interview/video, you know what I mean. Anyway, good luck in your future, whatever plans you got laid out for you. We wish you luck on that, man, and thanks for racing. We loved having you behind the gate. It sucks to see you go. That's all I can say. Let me know what you guys think about yet another top or former top MXGP racer retiring. All right, now we got a couple support KTM team lineup announcements for 2024, one of them being in the MX2 class and one of them being here in the United States. The first one is WZ Racing KTM. They are excited to unveil their squad for 2024. They have a big year this year between ADAC, EMX 250, and the MX2 World Championship, all a big 250 team. Here's their lineup. They got, I don't know if it's Haken or Haken. I'll say Haken Fredrickson. He will be racing MX2 World Championships / ADAC. He said in the announcement, quote, "Stoked to announce that I've signed for WZ Racing for 2024. Looking forward to put in some good hours on the new steed." Next, they have Oriol Oliver. I have spoke to him multiple times. Hopefully I can get him on the show again here soon as well. He will be racing MX2 again and ADAC. He said, quote, "We are back after 2 months, excited for the upcoming season." Their third and final rider is Ryan Alexanderson. Now, I don't really know this guy. I did some research on it. I think he's Australian. Don't quote me on that because I didn't dig too far. I didn't look into results or anything, but on his Instagram, I think he's Australian. Not 100% sure. Anyway, he said, quote, super excited to finally announce that I'll be racing for WZ Racing for the 2024 season. Extremely fortunate for this opportunity to move to Europe and race for such a great team. Plans are to compete in the EMX 250 Championship alongside the ADAC Masters Youngsters Cup. Massive thanks to everyone who helped me make this happen. So that's awesome to see another up-and-comer entering the sport. WZ Racing KTM is obviously a great team. I talked to Michele Cervellin a couple weeks back. He is now on Factory Triumph, but he was on WZ Racing KTM, and he said it was a struggle to get used to the KTM because he was used to like Kawasaki's Japanese bikes. But once he did, he really enjoyed the bike, obviously before he got hurt. But they seem to be a good team. Oriol Oliveira's a nice guy, so he said the team's great too. Looking forward to see what they can do in 2024. All right, on the American side of things, we have AEO Powersports KTM, their 2024 lineup. The first one they have is a re-sign. That is Derek Kelly. We spoke with him on the show a couple of times. I think I interviewed him at Dilla as well. But he's a wicked nice guy. He's had a halfway decent pro motocross season, and he did pretty good in Supercross. He's looking to carry that into 2024. Unfortunately, he broke his arm, I believe, a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. So he will be missing. I don't know if he's missing races or not. They didn't say how far into the Supercross season his recovery would take. So I'm not sure how many races he will miss or if he will at all. Anyway, he's injured right now, but glad to see Kelly back on the team. Next in the pros, they have Talon Hawkins. I'm excited to see what he can do on the KTM. He did pretty good on Husky, looked good on that, so hopefully he can carry that right over to this bike on this new team for him. I'm looking forward to see what he has in the Supercross series coming up. Their final pro rider is Lex Turner. His number will be 473. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about this kid, but I think he's a really good amateur kid that just turned pro. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. I've never heard of this kid before, so cut me some slack on that. I can't know everyone in the sport, but either way, I can't wait to see what he can do in Supercross. Pumped to see what he's got, and maybe we can get him on, hear more about his story and how he got here. The final rider on AEO Powersports is Ryder McNabb. He's actually a two-time Canadian motocross champion. It's cool to see him coming here, getting a ride here in the United States. He will be racing the Futures class, though, not 250 Supercross. So, obviously, he did that because he's probably never touched a Supercross track, really. So, I just can't wait to see what he can do on the Futures, or on the Supercross track in the Futures class as well. Pumped to see a Canadian guy come down here. He was really good up there. Let's see if he can carry that down to here. All right, the final story of the day is kind of a small one. I wanted to bring it up because Grant Harlan is one of my favorite guys, wicked cool guy to talk to. I've had him on here a couple times. River Yamaha rider Grant Harlan, he had a huge get-off back at Motocross of Nations, if you guys remember. I don't have the clip anymore. I'm probably not going to go look for it, so you can go look at the last video I have on it. It's somewhere in my videos. You can find it. Anyway, he was racing the last chance qualifier for Team Guam. He ended up landing on, I think, the Canadian rider who crashed on the top of the tabletop. He landed on the bike, got like catapulted off like 30 feet past the landing, ended up breaking his leg. I think it was his femur, and I don't remember what else he broke. Maybe just the femur. But either way, he had to stay in France a few days, and it was a pretty horrendous hospital stay from what I heard about that. After a few days there, he flew back to the United States, got a proper recovery, and here we are a couple months later, and he's fully recovered, back on the bike already, ripping with the new number 23 as well. Now, I'm a big Harlan fan, like I said, and hopefully we can have him on again soon. Anyway, let's take a look at Harlan, already back on the bike. Sorry about the silence in this clip, but it has copyrighted music over it, so I can't play that. Anyways, here it is. I'm going to be honest, I can't believe he's that comfortable already on the bike. I mean, he's been out for a few months. I'm surprised he's back already because I heard that his break was pretty bad. That leg break was pretty bad. Can't believe it healed that quick for him, but glad to see him back. Hopefully he can carry this momentum. he did fantastic in 2023. Let's see what he can do in 2024. He's on the same team, got the same package, so hopefully that works in his as an advantage for him. Let's see what Harlan's got in 2024. All right, that's all I got for you guys in this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and if you're on audio form, follow, rate the podcast. I think that's what you do, rate it. I don't really know. Either way, it helps us out, and thanks for watching and listening. See you guys in the next one.